meridians a flow of energy through the body. And when that energy gets stuck or stagnant, that's when imbalances and illness occurs.
Now, I'm pulling up information that dates back thousands of years, right? That has also been developed and unified with Western science to develop a type of technique to clear the energy pathways in your body that are preventing you from feeling better, feeling like yourself, feeling normal.
According to traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, a vital energy called qi flows through the body along channels called meridians. Think of these channels as a sprinkling system for the body, bringing qi to vital organs and extremities in much the way hoses bring water to your garden.
Just like we have electricity channels that go throughout the cities, we have the same kind of channels going through our bodies. Now, if one of these wires gets snapped, gets cut, something happens, it's going to affect a part of the city, won't it? Same thing with the body.
In the TCM model of health and disease, when qi flow is blocked, the stagnating qi causes illness. Acupuncture therapy unblocks the qi flow, strengthens or weakens the qi, think opening and closing the garden spigot, and directs it to areas.
If you would like to learn a method on how to clear the energy that's in the meridians so you can get out of feeling bad, pay close attention to this next clip, because I'm going to show you exactly how you can get rid of the stuck energy so you can feel like yourself again. It's kind of unbelievable. People may not understand exactly what's happening here, but just follow along with me. It'll only take a few minutes, and I want you to see how it feels. So I wanted to shoot that last clip where I was standing near all of those power lines because it's a great analogy, you know. It's just like you have a circulatory system with blood that's traveling all through the body. Just like you have a lymphatic system that has all that white pussy stuff that goes throughout all the body. Just like you have a nervous system that has nerves going all throughout the body. You also have an energy meridian system that goes all throughout your body. Now, people in the Western world don't really know about it, but it's been known for thousands of years in Asia. It's kind of unknown because you can't really see it. Although if you take a radioactive substance, inject it into one of these channels, you can see it in an X-ray machine. You can also take electronic devices that detect exactly where these acupuncture points are, and it just so happens that it's the same as these charts, right? So, how do I know that this method works? First off, there was a psychotherapist who had clients. He had a regular practice. And his name is Roger Callahan, by the way. And he developed a technique called thought field therapy, right? Thought field therapy, right? And so he had a normal practice, seeing patients. And just like normal therapists, he would have a patient and they would be his client for a year or many years, right? And unlike many therapists, he was actually one that actually cared to get a result with people. He wanted to actually help cure people, not just have patients and have an endless supply of them coming in week after week after week after week talking about their problems with no actual progress, right? I mean, it's pretty ridiculous to me that society even accepts such a thing. But then when a different modality comes around, like hypnosis or something, or NLP or something that's proven that people actually have results with, some people don't get results in 2 or 3 sessions and they write it off as a scam, right? But the biggest scam is the thing that's most widely used. It blows my mind. It really is amazing. So this therapist, he ended up going to different types of seminars and learning different types of training and different modalities. So he studied acupressure and acupuncture, right? And he started to learn about what these points are and where it correlates in the body. Now, where he started to make his first discovery was he had a patient named Mary. And Mary had a fear of water. She had not just a fear of water, it was an intense fear. She had a hard time driving over bridges. She couldn't even go near swimming pools. She even had a hard time taking a bath, right? So a hardcore fear, right? And so after months and years of therapy, with no change at all, he started to learn the acupressure and the meridian points. And while in conversation, while in therapy, she ended up saying, she said, "Oh, I just feel so sick to my stomach." And he recalled from some of his acupressure training, he said, "Oh, the stomach meridian is actually, it ends right here on the face, right on the cheekbone." And so he said, "How about can you just tap on your cheekbone right there for me real quick?" She tapped on her cheekbone. Immediately, her face went from fear, where her face was white, her face flushed with blood. She got color back to her face, and the session was at this man's house where he had a pool, and she ran out to the pool to go check and feel the water. And he said, "No, wait, you can't swim." And so she said, "I know," but she went over to the water, and she had no issue at all. And ever since, she was fine. Of course, he had her come back for follow-up sessions, but after that, she was completely done with the fear. And it's just an amazing example of how something that's just so understood, right? She didn't know why she had this fear. She didn't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how many methods or anything, but maybe you can put yourself in her shoes and be like, I tried all these methods. I tried medication. I tried changing my diet. I tried doing this. I tried doing that. But just because you tried tons of things doesn't mean that there's a method for you to feel better. So what he ended up doing, he did a lot of research, and he ended up perfecting this method. Because it's not always so simple as just tapping on one point. Sometimes, usually, it's a combination of points, right? And so, through trial and error, he ended up developing a lot of algorithms or combinations to the lock of different types of ailments and things like that. So, what happens is you have an energy meridian system in your body. And lately I've been delving very deeply into this, studying the Taoist philosophy and the Taoist science, and doing lots of meditation and Qigong. And I feel these pathways, right? If you fill your energy with Qi, you'll end up feeling a different part of your body you never felt before. So what ends up happening is people develop a blockage in the body. Now, the blockage can happen from a traumatic situation. It can happen from toxins. It happens from negative thinking. It can happen from all kinds of different. It can happen from lack of exercise and just being stagnant. And what happens when you tap on a point like what Mary did is it's kind of like when you have a toilet that's stuck, right, and it doesn't work. But you can take the plunger and you can booka, right, and you can open up that blockage so water can flow again and it's nice and fresh and clean. So that's kind of what it's like, because you have these almost like pipes for chi energy to flow through, and if there's stuck energy inside, you're going to feel discomfort. And depend on what you're thinking about will depend on where the energy is flowing and what's happening in your body. So she was probably fine, but when she thinks of water, all of a sudden she has a white face and she's in fear, right? So just like in our lives, right? Like, for example, I've used this where ever since I've used this for myself, I never have felt bad with a breakup, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, yes, a little like discomfort and maybe some aggravation sometimes, but never long-lasting emotional pain. It's completely gone. And this is kind of unheard of. Well, this technique is kind of unheard of too. So one of my inspirations for making this video is actually my sister. She was asking me, you know, she's been wanting me to train her in mindset and meditation and things, because you know, there's a lot of things to explore personally when you delve down these areas. And so she was telling me yesterday how someone actually died in the apartment across the hall. And she's 12 years old, by the way. And she was telling me how lots of people have died in her lifetime. Like one of the people who've died is my brother, right? Our brother, you know, and that's really hard for the family to go through. You know, she's also had other family members die around her as well. And she says she's having a hard time with this. So I'm actually making this video first off so she can see it, because she subscribes to my YouTube channel. I highly encourage and suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Hit the notification button too, so you actually get the notification that it comes out, because I have a lot of great content that's funny, inspiring, and well, I'll let you be the judge, right? So anyhow, that's the main reason why I'm shooting this video now, and I'm realizing, well, you know, a lot of people can benefit from this because you can use it for all sorts of things. Now, in this video, I can't go through all of the algorithms because there's a lot of them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the main general one, which you can use on anything. In fact, there's a documentary called Try It on Everything, where they used this one algorithm where they tried it on everything and people had results, right? So what can this work on? It can work on depression. It can work on breakups. It can work on grieving, right? So it's like, for example, my brother dying, right? People were actually really concerned about me because I wasn't grieving like everybody else, right? It's not that I'm numb to feeling, because, I mean, I wrote a song in his name, and every time I get to a certain part of the song where I really think about him, I tear up, you know, because I just feel him. But I'm not stuck in a grieving process, right? It's, you know, I'm just what's known as clear, right? If you have no energy perturbations, is what Roger Callahan calls it, which is simply just a blockage. If you have no blockages in your energy meridian system, you feel fucking great. And I want to pass on this great feeling because I feel so good and I'm so in control of my emotions. And this is one of the secrets for me to be able to do this. So, all right, so let's start the method so you can just follow along and feel the result. Now, I highly encourage that you download the paper that shows all these points and you memorize it. Maybe even you draw it on the notebook, right? That's probably the best way. If you draw it all out, you know, you're using the neural pathways in your brain to memorize it better. Embrace me. So here we go. So first off, you want to think about the thing that you want to work on. It's called thought field therapy for a reason, because when you think of a certain thought, you're registering certain energy meridians in your body. So you want to think about the thing that's happening, right? I mean, if you're in emotional pain, I don't think you really have to change too much because you're already feeling the emotion. So think about what you want to discharge the emotion with. Now think, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I feel great, I feel fantastic, 10 feeling, oh my God, I want to die, I feel horrible, right? So in between 1 and 10, give an estimate on your emotional charge to the thing that you want to work on. Right, so maybe someone going through a grieving process may actually be an 8 or a 9, right? Because, you know, someone close to you, that matters a lot. So just note to yourself what number this is. Okay? Now, let's begin. First, you want to start by tapping on your karate chop point, is what the slang term is for it. But really the point is at the end of this crease in your hand. Best way to do it, you just take your hand and you just go like that. Every point you hit, you want to tap it about 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What this does, this is the first point that you usually hit on all these algorithms. This connects to the large intestine, which is a large organ, which helps the current of flow in your body. Now some people have the current of flow reversed. Some people who have like dyslexia, or we all have moments. I mean, I have moments of dyslexia too, where you type a word backwards, or you say things in a backwards manner. If you ever catch yourself in that thing, just tap this and correct yourself real quick, because it corrects your energy flow to go in the correct direction. So we start out with this. The reversal point is what it's called. Then next, we'll go to the beginning of the eyebrow. 2 fingers, tap it. You don't have to tap it super hard where you're like giving yourself a bruise, but you don't want to just like tap it a little bit, because you want to get energy through the system, through that meridian pipe, right? So I see people doing this and they're like, oh, I'm tapping. Oh my goodness, Right? So, beginning of the eyebrow, edge of the eyebrow on the side of the eye, underneath your eye, on the collarbone, it's like on the down slope of the collarbone. Now it doesn't matter, you can do either side, both sides, it doesn't matter. Apparently, that's what they say. A lot of times I'll do both sides, to get that going. Next is a little divot underneath your nose. The next is underneath the mouth and your chin, that next divot right there. Next is your collarbone point. At the end of your collarbone, you have the little spots right there. Find those spots, go down an inch and over an inch. And there's spots right there. Next is under the arm. For men, if you follow your nipple to right underneath your armpit, it's right in that spot. Sometimes it's sore for people. For ladies, this is your bra strap is usually right there. Next is the hand. There's a bunch of points in the hand we're going to go through. So collarbone, underneath the arm. Go back to reversal. Then we're going to tap the thumb on the outer edge, lower corner of your thumb. I like to put my hand down on the desk and tap on it. You can also just hold it too. Oh, my cord's kind of... Sorry about that. So right there. Next, index finger, outside edge, lower corner. Again, I put it down on the table and tap it so you get a good solid tap. Next is the middle finger, outer edge. Skipping the ring finger, for whatever reason they skip the ring finger. And then the pinky finger. Again, this outer edge. So I'll just make that real clear. Right here in the thumb, right here on the finger, right here in the middle finger, and right here. I'll have to include a link in the description for all these points so you can look at a piece of paper, and so it's easier to follow. Next, there's a point right here in between the bones of your ring and your pinky finger called the gamut point. Now, you're going to continue to tap this point while you do specific eye movements. Now, why different eye movements? It activates different parts of the brain, different parts of the body. So, first you start out with your eyes open. Then, eyes closed. Eyes open. Look down to the left. Look down to the right. Roll your eyes around in a circle one way. Roll your eyes around in a circle the other way. Hum. This activates the right hemisphere of your brain. Count to 10. Activates the left hemisphere of your brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hum again. And then one last point. At the tippity top of your head, you tap right there. I feel a little embarrassed shooting a video. I feel really scrawny right now. I haven't been working out lately. Just doing a lot of meditation and qigong. And so that is the general try it on everything algorithm. Now, after you did that one cycle, check how you feel emotionally. On 1 to 10, think about what you're working on. Do you still feel the same? Do you feel less? Do you feel more? If you don't feel a 1 or a 2, then do it again. When I first started doing this, I did this a ton, because get this, guys. If you've never cleared your energy meridian lines in any kind of way, right? You have tons of emotional programs. Hundreds, if not thousands. And that's not like a personal thing. I'm saying like, oh, you have all these things. We all have them, right? So when I started doing this, I was doing this tapping method like 30 times a day, right? If I got frustrated when I was driving around at somebody, oh, you cut me off, right? Like, oh, I got to tap, right? If I'm talking to someone and someone bothers me, I tap, right? If I'm frustrated with something in my life, I tap, right? You know, if you feel bad about a relationship you're still feeling bad about, tap, 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 tap more. This is something that takes a lot of repetition, because there's so many areas in the body that blockages can be. It's really unrealistic for you to think that you can do this a couple times and all of a sudden, oh, I should feel great now. You know, how come I still feel bad? I've been doing it. You have to do it a lot, you know, just like anything in life, you know. You have to do it consistently. You got to do it a lot. So anytime you're feeling bad, go through that algorithm. And you can even come back to this video and go to 12 minutes in or whatever it was, and go through it again and again and again. Now, after you've done this and you can get that charge down to a lower number, there's one more tapping sequence that you do at the end to help seal in the results. So again, you tap in what's known as the gamut point. Again, in between the two bones, about 3 finger widths down, right there. Just tap right there. And do the following with your head and your eyes. So keep your head straight. Look down at the floor without moving your head. And now slowly roll your eyes upwards. Slowly up, all the way up, all the way up to the ceiling. Now, again, check how you feel. This should discharge a lot of issues. Now, this doesn't work for absolutely everything, which is why there's a lot of other algorithms. So if you're intrigued about this technique and you want to learn all of the algorithms, come pay me $1,000 and I'll teach you. No, just kidding. There's a book I'm going to recommend that has most of these algorithms, and there's various levels to this training. The epitome of this is you can actually call someone up, and while you're talking, they do muscle testing, and they actually give you a specific code or algorithm to help unlock it. I'm not trained at that level, but I've been doing these other algorithms, and it's been really amazing, right? Fear, depression, grieving. You try it on everything. Even physical pain sometimes this works with. My friend who also learned this, his mother was going through cancer, and so he helped her learn this, and it helped take away a lot of pain. So try it on everything. And guys, if you do this technique and you feel different, or if you don't feel different, leave a comment in the section below and let us know what your experience are. Because if you're able to share your experience and someone reads that, you know, it can help them. So keep the conversation going. If you learned something in this video, please like it. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out. And subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you actually get the notification, because if you subscribe to the channel, you don't get the notifications. What's the point, right? Get the book Tapping the Healer from Within. That's the book that Roger Callahan put out. Roger Callahan actually passed away a few years ago, although his wife still runs his organization where they do trainings. So that technique is called thought field therapy, or TFT. Some of you guys may be familiar with the technique called EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. Gary Craig, which created that technique, learned from Roger Callahan. So there's a couple little different things that they do as far as speaking about what you're doing, but you can use this for a lot of different things. People use it for clearing money blocks, right? People use it for getting rid of bad habits to keep on track with their health and food addictions. Man, I never really had a weight problem except for gaining weight, but I still notice that I have been addicted to certain foods. I mean, you ever been addicted to fast foods? Tap on that, right? I mean, any kind of foods. I mean, even if we just get emotional sometimes, I notice sometimes I get bored. I just go straight to the fridge and I start looking for food. I'm like, wait, I'm not even hungry. I'm just looking for food because I'm bored, you know? Like, all right, I'm going to do that tapping, right? And there's addiction algorithms and things like that. Maybe I'll make more videos with the specific algorithms, because this one's getting kind of long. But this is the one you want to try on everything, especially if you're first starting out. Do this tapping sequence over and over again, okay? So thank you for watching this video. My name is Michael Grady, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.